The best young basketball player on planet Earth has exactly one fatal flaw, and in Game 1 of the NBA Finals, it showed up at the worst possible moment and quietly cost his team the game. Not his shooting, not his defense, one specific fixable habit. So tonight, the entire Finals might swing on a single question. Can Victor Wembanyama fix his one flaw in one night? Because everything else about this man is nearly flawless. Reigning Defensive Player of the Year, a 25-point-a-night scorer who blocks shots like a goalkeeper and shoots like a guard. He is the reason the Spurs won 62 games. And he is also, quietly, the reason they're down 1-0. Both things are true at once. Let's break it down. This is Game is Culture. Real quick before we get into it, if you like breakdowns that actually show the math instead of just yelling takes at you, go hit subscribe. It's free and it genuinely helps, so click it. First, the flaw itself. Let's name it with numbers. Turnovers. Across the entire regular season, Wembenyama averaged just 2.4 giveaways a night. Totally normal for a star carrying this much offense. Then Game 1 of the Finals arrived, and he committed 6, 2.5 times his season rate, in the biggest game of his life, against the most disciplined defense he's ever faced. And count what 6 giveaways from your franchise player actually hand the other team. 6 runouts against a scrambled defense, 6 momentum swings, 6 groans from the home crowd, 6 little gifts to a team that needs every single one. In a 10-point game, the math on that is brutal. Now zoom out to the team picture. San Antonio coughed it up 13 times in Game 1. New York, just 8. And here's the damning part. Wembenyama alone accounted for 6 of those 13. Nearly half of his team's entire turnover problem walking around in one pair of size 20 shoes. Fix him and you fix most of the problem in one move. Now the paradox, because the same night he was also brilliant. 26 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks. On a night his jumper completely abandoned him, 6 of 21 from the field, he still dragged the Spurs to within punching distance by living at the free throw line, 12 of 13. That stat line, at his age in a finals debut, is historic. We proved that in another video. The brilliance is not in question. And that's exactly what makes the flaw so maddening. You can live with a superstar missing shots, shooting comes and goes, but giveaways are different. They're decision quality, not luck. Wembenyama didn't lose Game 1 because he was bad. He lost it in part because he was careless. And careless, unlike cold, is a choice you can stop making tonight. So where do the 6 turnovers actually come from? Watch the film and a pattern jumps out. The Knicks send long, fast doubles at him the moment he puts the ball on the floor, and they swipe down on every gather. His height means the ball hangs low and exposed on drives. His passes leave from up high, where deflections turn into runouts. New York scouted all of it. Every Knick hand was exactly where his habits said the ball would be. Which means the fix is specific, not vague. Catch deeper so the double arrives too late. Make the simple read, the short pass to the open man instead of the cross-court hero ball. And attack with 2 hands through contact, because swipe downs feast on one-handed gathers. 3 adjustments, none of them require him to shoot better. All of them are about decisions. Real quick though, if you've made it this far, you've really gotta hit subscribe. I'm not going to beg, but I am going to ask, so hit it and I'll wait. Now here's why one flaw can decide an entire finals. Because this series is a rock fight. Both teams defend at a championship level, points are scarce, and Game 1 was decided by a handful of possessions. In that world, the turnover battle isn't a side stat, it is the whole margin. The Spurs lost the giveaway war by 5, and lost the game by 10. Cut Wembenyama from 6 turnovers to his normal 2, and you've clawed back most of the difference without making a single extra shot.
So here's tonight's target, and it's almost embarrassingly modest. Get Victor back to his season self. 2 turnovers, maybe 3. That's it. He doesn't need 40 points. He doesn't need a shooting miracle. The Spurs just need the version of him that protected the ball for 64 games this season to show up for one more night in the one game that decides everything. And remember what's on the other side of that fix. A 26-point, 12-rebound, 3-block monster with a jumper that's statistically due to thaw and a free throw stroke that already works. If the careless 6 possessions become a careful 2, the same performance that lost game 1 probably wins game 2 comfortably. That's how thin this is. And understand what's riding on the fix beyond one game. Because this is the week the world decides what story it tells about Victor Wembenyama. Great young stars almost always get humbled in their first finals. The legends are the ones who fix it fast. Respond tonight with a clean, controlled masterpiece, and game 1 becomes a footnote in the origin story. Repeat the 6 giveaways, and it becomes the first chapter of a very different narrative. Tonight he faces 2 opponents, the Knicks and his own reputation. And New York knows exactly what it's protecting. Expect the Knicks to double down on everything that worked. More traps the second he dribbles, more swipe downs on every gather, more bait, showing him a passing lane and then closing it the moment the ball leaves his fingers. They turned the best young player alive into a turnover machine once. They will absolutely try to do it again, possession after possession. Which is why the real fix might not be in his hands at all. It's in trusting everyone else's. The fastest way to stop turning the ball over against doubles is to stop holding it. Quick catches, quick decisions. Let Fox and the shooters punish the help before it lands. The Spurs don't need Wembenyama to beat the trap. They need him to make the trap irrelevant, one simple pass at a time. And there's precedent for exactly this kind of overnight fix. Every great big man who runs an offense eventually had this same baptism. The doubles come, the giveaways pile up, and then the great ones adjust, usually faster than anyone expects. The film session has already happened. The question is whether the lesson shows up in his hands tonight. So here's your tell for tonight. Watch his first 3 touches. If the ball leaves his hands in under 2 seconds, quick reads, quick swings, the Spurs fixed it, and New York's trap becomes a liability. If he holds it, surveys, and dribbles into traffic, the flaw survived the film session. 3 touches, that's all you'll need to know where this game is headed. Now the honest other side, because the flaw has a co-author. Those 6 turnovers weren't all unforced. The Knicks are the best defensive team of these playoffs, and forcing giveaways is their signature. Their wings dig at every dribble, their rotations bait exactly the passes Wembenyama kept throwing. So carefulness alone only solves half the problem. The other half is beating a defense engineered to make stars careless. Easier said than done. And there's a scarier possibility for San Antonio, that this isn't a one-night glitch, but a matchup problem. 22 years old, first finals, against the most disciplined defense alive, with the whole season on the line. Pressure doesn't usually shrink a flaw, it magnifies it. If New York smells those nerves tonight, they'll hunt his hands on every single touch. So I'm gonna leave it with you. Does Wembenyama fix his one fatal flaw tonight and turn Game 1's heartbreak into a Game 2 statement? Or do the Knicks keep picking the pocket of the best young player alive all the way to a 2-0 lead? One flaw, one night, the whole finals might hang on it. So tell me down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe. We're in a race to 1,000 subscribers, so please join the family.